Hi, this is Lisa with your August Copic tutorial for the Copic Color Club from PaperManiac. We're going to look at a new Flourishes stamp called Humming Along. It comes with these beautiful flowers, and let's see, I'll back out a little bit here so you can see the entire stamp set. Beautiful hummingbirds, flowers, and a bunch of different sentiments. They're fantastic. Now, the reason I picked Flourishes this month, when we're going to be looking at how to color flowers and leaves and foliage. The reason why I picked this is because Flourishes does something that not many stamp companies do. First of all, Flourishes stamps are incredibly detailed, and if you're coloring with Copic markers, it may throw you off a little bit. You may feel like you can't color something so detailed and small with your Copic markers. I first started with the Flourishes stamps when I started coloring because of the one thing that I love the most about them is that they add these lines on here to show you where the shading happens. They show you where your dark should happen. Okay, see the little hatch marks in there? And the closer that they are together and the darker they are, the more the shading should be there. Okay, so that's where you're going to put your dark color. And then you're going to put your medium color up to that, and then the areas that are the most wide open are going to be your light color. So really it's a no-brainer kind of thing. You don't have to get your light source template out. Everything's already set up for you, although when looking at this, it's more or less an overhead light source. I'm going to color the flowers, and I'm going to use our color from this month, RV00. I'm going to pair it with the color combination we talked about before, the RV21 and the RV23. Makes a very nice light pink color. And I'm going to start here with this flower, and you can see darkest colors here, going underneath. Okay, and the thing that makes this possible, because you know when you look at your Copic marker, quite frankly, that tip it's a big tip, right? If you work with just the edge of your Copic marker, going with the RV21, using it more like a paintbrush. What happens is that you put very little color on the page, but the other thing is you're able to work in a very tight spot. My RV000, okay? And I'm just going to blend into that first. I'm going to reserve my white area, and I'm going to go back in very lightly to keep my highlight. Now, if I make a little mistake, like I went out the lines a little bit here, I can use my colorless blender. If you use a darker red and you go out the lines, you're going to need to cut out your image or start again. Now I might decide that I want to go back in here and add a little bit more shading, and I can do that because I started with my dark first. Now let's look at these petals up top here. We're going to go in with our RV23, and you can see the little hatch marks there showing that these are the darkest. Okay, go in and add to that. Now I'm going to go in with my RV21. Blend into that. I'm blending very gently, putting very little color on the page. I'm going with my RV00. Now the good thing about this color combination is RV00 is really far away from the other two colors. And in a small space, you don't have to worry so much about them blending together. They blend together very well. But also, it really leaves a really nice highlight on there because there's such a differentiation between the two colors. Let's do the other flower right next to this one, starting with our RV23. And you can tell right here, you see how the hatch marks are more dense and together, which gives you an indication where that dark should be. I'm just using the tip of my marker. RV21, I'm just going to blend into those as my medium tone. Now, if you have more of these markers and you have another color that would look good in, I would suggest even a lighter color, RV40s if you have that, to help to even make more of a highlight on there. But you can recreate that with leaving the blank white space. Okay, let's go again in with the RV23 up here, the darkest areas, and they have the darkest areas here. These pretty We have so many hummingbirds in Arizona. That's one colorful bird we have, that and the cardinal. Although I have to say my favorite bird is the bluebird, and we had a lot of those in New Mexico where I came from, and we don't have those here. I guess you can have them like in Flagstaff and Prescott, but it's just not spring for me unless I see a bluebird. And I just got back from Cloudcroft, New Mexico, and probably saw like 50 of them. I was very excited. I'm easily amused. Okay, so go ahead and add in the RV21. Once again, you're blending into it. When I blend into that other color, I'm reserving all that white space for my next color. I'm not over blending. If you over blend, these little flowers could look like little pink blobs. And that's not what you want to do. You want them to look more 3D. And with the Flourishes stamps, they're so timeless and classic. I mean, you're never going to get a Flourishes stamp that goes out of style. I mean, I know that they go through little things where I guess it was peacocks and it was hot air balloons, and then it was, I don't know, whatever. Cupcakes. There was a big cupcake thing, right? I know cupcakes are still hanging on. But they're not going to be the kind of stamp where, you know, next year, the next time CHA rolls around, no one is doing them anymore. There you go. There it is for coloring flowers. And stay tuned with me for part 2, where we're going to learn how to color the leaves or the foliage.